It's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen.
When Steve Bannon said that, I'm pretty sure he wasn't expecting this.
A few minutes ago, a federal judge ordered former Trump advisor Steve Bannon to report to prison by July 1st to serve his 4-month prison sentence. Bannon was hoping to stay out of prison as he appealed his conviction for contempt of Congress.
And the judge said, look, the appeals court wholeheartedly disagreed with the legal arguments that Bannon and his team were making. He said he was not going to put off this sentence any longer. And he said it's time for Steve Bannon to report to prison.
Steve Bannon is a lot of things. A former close advisor to this.
I am the political prisoner of a failing nation.
And now Bannon leads a bunch of feeble-minded MAGA 8th grade dropouts in their revolution.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. It's all converging, and now we're on, as they say, the point of attack, right? The point of attack tomorrow. Okay, it's going to be quite extraordinarily different. And all I can say is strap in.
Of course, he's talking about January the 6th, which is why Bannon is headed to the Hooskow. But this wasn't Fatty Bannon's first rodeo.
Former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon was arrested on fraud charges over an alleged scheme connected to the president's long-promised border wall. He was later released on a $5 million bond. Paula Reed is following all of this from the White House.
As he left federal court in Manhattan, Steve Bannon suggested the Trump Justice Department's case against him is a setup.
This entire fiasco Well, I feel very badly. I haven't been dealing with him for a long period of time.
President Trump tried to distance himself from his former chief strategist, who prosecutors allege was part of a group that raised more than $25 million to build a southern border wall, then stole hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations for themselves.
In August 2020, Bannon was arrested on federal charges of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and money laundering in connection with the We Build the Wall fundraising campaign.
Oh, we'll build the wall. Don't even think about it. We'll build the wall. Don't worry about it.
No, God, please, no! Yeah, that wall. According to the grand jury indictment, Bannon promised that all contributions would go to building a U.S.-Mexico border wall.
No!
But instead,
God,
Steve and his
please,
pals
no!
stole it. They were indicted and looked pretty bad, but then on January 20th, 2021, on his last day in office, Trump pardoned him. But federal pardons do not cover state offenses. So in September of 2022, Bannon was charged in New York State Court on counts of fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy in connection with the We Build the Wall, which didn't happen.
Hi, what's up?
So you're starting to see a pattern here. In November of 2020, Bannon's Twitter account was permanently suspended after he said that Fauci and FBI Director Christopher Wray should be executed.
And that's the second term. Second term kicks off with firing Wray, firing Fauci. Now, I actually want to go a step farther, but I realize the president is a kind-hearted man and a good man. I'd actually like to go back to the old times of Tudor England. I'd put the heads on pikes, right? I'd put them at the two corners of the White House as a warning to federal bureaucrats. You either get with the program or you're gone. Time to stop playing games. Blow it all out. Put Rick Grinnell today as the interim head of the FBI. That'll light them up, right?
You know what, Steve? Just yesterday, there was the anniversary of the hanging of two Tories in Philadelphia. These were Quaker businessmen who had cohabitated, if you will, with the British while they were occupying Philadelphia. These people were hung. This is what we used to do to traitors.
That's how you won the revolution.
But that's not why he's going to jail. Bannon was held in contempt of Congress in October of 2021 after he refused to comply with a subpoena issued by the Select Committee on the January 6th attack. He was indicted by a federal grand jury on 2 criminal charges of contempt of Congress. Then in July of 2022, he was convicted on both counts in a jury trial, sentenced in October of 2022 to 4 months in prison. Now, after losing his appeal, he's been ordered to report to prison next month. Okay, first of all, Bannon's character and his integrity, they're simpatico with his look. This mope tries that tough look with his disheveled hair and flabby, unshaven mug and army jacket, but it's not real. He hides behind a mic and says horrible, untrue things about people from the safety of his war room, which is really like Jim Jordan's wrestling rec room, where the two of them gather with tiny fingers for their secret GOP scat games.
Strap in.
Steve Bannon is the representative of the crazy right, the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, most of whom share a close resemblance to this beer-bellied sow. Bannon is simply a huge chunk of dung whose life has been dedicated to destroying the fabric of the U.S., which is essentially that we are a nation of immigrants. That doesn't sit well with this hillbilly racist. You might remember this name, Cambridge Analytica. Well, Bannon served as the vice president of Cambridge Analytica, which was a data analytics firm that used illegal tactics to target American voters back in the 2016 election.
I'm going to challenge you.
Well, we're here now.
I'm going to challenge you.
And we're going to make sure that we do a good job at it.
Have you done a good enough job yet?
Well, I think we will see.
Bannon oversaw the collection of Facebook data, which was used to target American voters, creating a psychological warfare tool used to frighten and separate Americans with lies about everything from immigrants to the famously insane story that Hillary Clinton was eating babies at a pizza place in Northwest D.C. And all of this was done with the help of the Internet Russian agency. And after the election, Bannon quit and the following year joined Trump's gulag.
We may have lost a battle here today, but we're not going to lose this war. In the closing argument, the prosecutor missed one very important phrase, right? I stand with Trump and the Constitution, and I will never back off that, ever.
Bannon is a stone-cold racist, and that is at the heart of his mission. He wants only white Americans and isn't afraid to say that out loud to anyone.
Let them call you racist. Let them call you xenophobe. Let them call you nativist. Wear it as a badge of honor, because every day we get stronger and they get weaker.
But for all the right-wing accolades directed toward this pile of dirty underwear, Bannon is at his core a coward, rallying other cowards to attack Muslims, Hispanics, and Black Americans. And like this petulant skin tag, Bannon talks tough, but that's all there is, talk.
I am the political prisoner of a failing nation.
If there is an architect behind the last 10 years of America's chaotic scramble, Steve Bannon would like you to think he's behind it. And I'll say this, he's a part of it, but the same way when you flush your toilet and it finds other people's crap, but no more than that.
Steve Bannon, the former chief strategist of Trump, told you that now was the moment for obscure Republican prosecutors around the country try to make a name for themselves by prosecuting Democrats. He said, quote, there are dozens of ambitious backbencher state attorneys general and district attorneys who need to seize the day and own this moment.
Ultimately, Bannon, to achieve his twisted end, needed an idiot like Trump, who is battling dementia and losing, but who shares Bannon's racist and vengeful spirit. And now Bannon is headed to prison. And what will be forgotten by MAGA and Trump and the white nationalists is that Bannon isn't only a racist, but he's a fraud. Trump's idiot base gave him millions to build a wall that was never going to be built. They wanted to scare stupid white people.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
But ultimately, the wall wasn't going to get built because this dirty hamper stole the money from the very people who shared his loathful, bigoted view of the U.S.
Merrick Garland, Lisa Monaco, the entire Justice Department. They're not going to shut up Trump. They're not going to shut up Navarro. They're not going to shut up Bannon, and they're certainly not going to shut up MAGA.
Bannon thinks prison won't shut him up, won't slow him down, that the revolution will continue.
It's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen.
Maybe not, Steve. Maybe it will happen like this.
I could be a friend to you.
Damn right. This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong? You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I'm Chip Franklin.